Hello, hello, hello. It's Wonderful Wednesday. Yes, apologies of last night, but hey, you know that if I'm not coming on here on a Tuesday, I'll be here on a Wednesday, or 9 times out of 10. I do my best, right? That's all we can do. I'm a couple of minutes early, just making sure all the gadgets are doing what they need to do, and right now they are not. I've got one working, and the second one finally. Better late than never, right? That's what we like to do. Okay, so let's try and do that. Perfect. So I'm going to wait just a second for everybody to come on board. I've got you zoomed in, so I'm going to try to make sure that I work on the center of my mat so that you can see, because I was trying to make it just a little bit clearer for you. We've got people coming on. Yay! As I said, I know I'm a whisker early, so I apologize for that. So, as always, say hello, say where you're watching from, where in the world you're watching from, not from your front room, Fiona. Anyway, so I made a card at my monthly crop event at the weekend, and it was so pretty I thought I would make it online and show you, because it uses one of the new embossing folders. So this is that embossing folder, and I'm hoping if I tilt it that you can see it. It is available. It may be on back order, but did you know that if something is not available because it's out of stock, you can ask them to, you can click the box and they will email you when it comes back into stock, and we love that. So if I pull this down, hopefully you can see this is that embossing folder. Isn't it pretty? It's called the 3D, it's the Floral Spray 3D embossing folder, and you can see it again on page 61. I have it, so if you have the current catalogue, you'll find it there. We have two. We have the Fern and Flora, and then the Floral Spray. And because I have it here, this is the said embossing folder, and we love it, right? We love it. So as soon as it comes back in stock, make sure you get your mittens on it, because it's so pretty. It's a really nice size. It's a 6x8, so you can choose. I mean, you can just do like I have, use just an area of the embossing folder, or you can use the entire thing. You have choices, people. Choices. We love choices. Okay, the second thing I'm going to use, which is a new item, are these. These are the new Scallop Bloom dies. They're also part of a suite. They are part of the Bloom Boutique suite, and they come with the dies and words and flowers and boxes and paper and all the fun stuff, just like the Valley in Bloom. That embossing folder here is part of a suite if you wish. And what's the advantage of having a suite, I hear you ask? It's discounted, and we love a discount, right? But they are available as single standalone items if that's what you prefer. So I thought I'd just fish this out just to show you. So these are the Scalloped Bloom dies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, correct. Scallop dies. And then you get these additional dies as well. So these look like leaves. You've got a couple of circles, and then you have these tag shapes, which you can see here. And I've used this shape here, which is this one, which I absolutely love. And I'm going to show you a cute little card. Now, paper. Let's talk paper, because did I use the Lily of the Valley? No. Did I use the Bloom Boutique? No. I decided to use it with an online paper. So on top of that fabulous catalogue that we have, we also have a whole range of papers and products that are available online only. They'll never be in print, but they are available while they last. This is called Garden Poetry. And the reason I like this is because it's very similar patterns, but all in different colorways. And you'll have to excuse the fact that I've only got a few of some sheets left. It's because I've been using it. Look at this pretty one. Isn't that glorious? And then it's green on the back. You have this one, and then it's that color on the back. You have this shade of green, super pretty. Look at these beautiful sprays. And it's green on the back. Okay, that's the same as the one I just shown you. This yellowish coloured one, and then it has that beautiful like it almost looks like alcohol ink in into re-inker. That's what it reminds me of. It's so pretty. And then you have a beautiful blue, and then again different shades across the pattern. So depending on whether you cut this bit, whether you cut this piece, or whether you cut the end piece, it would you would get that real range of colors, which I really like. And yes, I know I'm zoomed in, just bear with me, okay, because I want you to be able to see. Maybe I'll come out just a whisker. Hang on, let me go in just a little bit. Okay, right, so loving the paper. The other one that we have in here is shades of sort of Poppy Parade and Flirty Flamingo, so you go from the pinky shades almost into Calypso Coral, and then into the darker red. And again, same idea on this one as there was on the back of the blue. There's 3 different shades. So if you're cutting it up for cards and you're cutting up a 4-inch section, because you would cut 4 by 5 1/4 to fit a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card, you know, you would get those different color combinations. I hope that makes sense. It does in my head. That's the scary thing. In my head, this makes perfect sense. Okay, but so anyway, I used this at the weekend. I cut an additional kit so that I could show you tonight, because I just think that this pattern is so pretty. So using that paper along with the embossing folder and then the scallop dies. So let me show you what I've done. All right, let me get the pieces. I have, here's my paper, my cardstock base, and we're doing a white center inside. Oh, the phrases, the words I'm using come from Phrases and Frames. It's $1 million sales achiever set, which is kind of cool, and we're going to say have a fabulous day. So that's what I'm using. It matches those frames there. These are the new frames. They're the cut and emboss frames, which I haven't shown you yet. Hopefully in the next week or so I'll create some artwork and do that. I've been up to my eyes in paperwork today. It's been one of those days, otherwise I would have got on top of it. All right, here we go. Adhesive. Look at me getting all tidy and trying to find all the things, doing all the hard things, right? So let's add some adhesive to my white cardstock piece. This stuff is super sticky, so I don't like to write on coloured cardstock. I really don't. Yes, we do have white gel pens which will write on white cardstock. I just don't like to do it. I like to have a white insert, so even though I do a coloured base, I still put a white piece on the centre, and that's why I do it, okay? Now I'm going to add, so the back of this purple floral I'm showing you has this pretty watercolor effect on the back. So again, you could use that side if you wished. And it goes from Berry Burst through to Blackberry Bliss, which is this color here. So pretty. Okay. I decided to take that embossing folder and I used it with vellum. So vellum is a semi-transparent sheet. It's got some thickness to it. Now you do have to be a little bit careful when you are embossing with it, but it takes the pattern of the embossing folder really well, and I absolutely love it. So I'm busy looking for my ink pad. It is here. There it is. It got buried. Let me just get it out ready. Okay, so you can see it's taken on the pattern. If I bring that embossing printed sheet back up, you can see that I did that bit there. So I actually put it into my folder this way, and if I just slide it down, I'm not sure if you can see, here is the flower. This line here is this line. You have these leaves, which is this. So I actually fitted it into my embossing folder, something like that, and embossed just that section. So often we see a large image, whether it's a stamp or an embossing folder or a die cut, and we think, oh, that's way too big. I can't put that on a card. You don't have to use the whole image. You can use just part of an image. So always remember that. Okay. I'm going to stick it down onto my card, and I'm going to put it down here like that. I'm going to put my adhesive in this section here because it won't be seen. And this was inspired by a card I saw made by a lady called Sally Dunn. She made a similar card to this and I liked it. I've just simplified mine, just a whisker. She used the Lily of the Valley paper. I'm using this, and even though the patterns are different, it really accents that floral. I use that same embossing folder, as you can see, and this time again I used it about there. That's where I cut it. You can see the patterns line up. Yep. So there are my two lines coming down and my leaves here. And I cut it, and we're going to add that to it. Now, does it matter that the pattern on the vellum is different to the pattern on the circle? Absolutely not. They coordinate, they complement each other, and these lines on the embossing folder with these leaves, the thin stems with the larger leaves, mimic the paper here, even though it's not exactly the same pattern. Isn't that cool? Yes, Sarah. I can hear you in the background going, oh, yeah, that's really cool. I never thought about it like that. I hope that's what you're saying in the background. Okay, we're going to use some of the remainder of my 3D Stampin' Dimensionals, because you know the term. You can all quote my mother, waste not, want not, right? And I'm going to attach this circle over the top of this area here where I added that adhesive. So we're just going to tuck it down just into the corner because I know it's still going to cover. And what I like about it, because I've embossed it, it automatically wants to curl down against the page. So even though this isn't stuck down, it doesn't actually need to be because it wants to curl against the page. Look at that. Ha! Perfect. All right, we have a little tag. I showed you it came from those scalloped, whatever they were called, scalloped blooms dies, and I'm going to use a liquid adhesive. We're using the Tombow Mono liquid glue because this is not a flat surface, so it will like slide and drip, not drip because there's not enough to drip, but you know what I mean. It will protect those raised areas, and it will stick because it is liquid, right? So it'll smush and stick. Okay, so we'll just let that sit a second. I told you this was an easy card, but so effective. All right, this is Berry Burst, and we're going to take my words that say, have a fabulous day, because I'm hoping everybody is having a fabulous day. And I'm going to show you some more colour combinations in a minute, because it's so pretty. Have a fabulous day. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, let's put some more 3D foam tape on it, because, hey, who made this? Sarah did, yes. If it didn't have 3D foam tape on it, I probably didn't design it. Oh, and I'm going to show you another cool technique as well in just a second. Okay, so before I stick that down, I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, and I am going to just go over my Berry Burst cardstock. I don't need to do this top corner because nobody's going to see it. It's going to be behind the other tag because we're going to overlap it. And I'm just going to make my cardstock sparkly. Ha 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 ha. All right. Now, occasionally, depending on the cardstock you're using, I do sometimes find that a little bit of the colour comes off the cardstock. So if that happens, just wipe the tip of your, whatever it's called, Wink of Stella, on a piece of cardstock just to clean it. And there we go. We're just going to put that over the top, and now look at that sparkle and shine. I hope to goodness that I'm actually on camera and that you can see it, because it is glorious. It really is. Okay, we need some ribbon on here, and I have the brand new ribbon somewhere buried under here. Please hold. Talk amongst yourselves. You know, I tied it up, right? And again with the, you tied it up, Sarah, and you put it away somewhere. But that's not a problem because I have about another 14 rolls of the same ribbon because I'm obsessed with it. Oh, no, here we go. Tied it up and put it away. All right, here we go. Berry Burst, 167126. Let's tie this in a bow. So we're just going to come round, make a loop, go round, and the nails are nailing. So I can do this I had them done last week. I can't remember whether I showed you them last week. They're all done with little tiny strawberries because I have a strawberry themed team meeting for all levels of my team on Saturday. We're doing strawberries and picnics, and I'll share a photo on here. It's fun. It's only going to be a small meeting. Lots of people are out of town. It's summer, right? But that's okay because whoever does come is important. Okay, so I've tied my berry burst. So we've got all different shades of berry burst. This is not berry burst. This is melon mambo, and then we're going into the blackberry bliss. So you've got all of those different shades of pink going on this card. And for this, we are going to use a glue dot. And I've taught you this trick before, but I'm going to show you again. So if you can see, I just took a piece of ribbon that I had left over. You could use string, you could use embroidery floss, and you can also see I've got lines in it, so it means that I can tear off my extra paper, and I know my next glue dot is going to be here. This piece of ribbon stops the reel unrolling so that when I take it out of the box, it doesn't unravel and then flick glue dots all over my house. Ask me how I know. And the reason I fold it is because I know when I peel it back, my next glue dot is on the surface. It's not on here like some brands, it's going to be on this piece. And by folding it, I know that once I've stuck my ribbon to my glue dot, and then I can just peel it off and stick it wherever I want. Even if this ribbon moved and spun round, I know my next glue dot is going to be here because that's my next fold line. Is that helpful? I hope it is. It works for my crazy brain, so I'm hoping it'll work for yours. All right, let's add some gems to this. I was going to add some of the new colour of the year. There's this very, very pale pink colour, but it wasn't quite right. So I decided that I'm going to use another brand new gem that we've got. These are the new Sunset Sparkle Sequins, which I love because apart from, oh, I've got ribbon stuck to me, it's static, because apart from this little bit of shimmer that we've just added here, it's all quite flat. There's no glossiness to it. There's a little bit of sparkle in the ribbon, but there's not a lot. And I like when I'm designing, when I'm trying to design artwork, I try and think of not only the different levels and different textures, but also different finishes. So the cardstock has a matte or a flat texture surface, so non-reflective if you like. Same with the paper. Even though I've embossed this, same thing again, it's flat, it's matte. And then the same with the vellum. Even though it is semi-transparent or semi-transparent depending on how you say it, it still is a flat matte texture surface. It doesn't reflect any light even though it's got that 3D embossing. We have a little bit of sparkle here, we have a little bit of shimmer here, but it needs more. It needs something to pop it. And these sequins are perfect for that because they really reflect. Now, there are 4 colours on here. I don't know whether it tells you. No, it doesn't. But they were a very pale pink, almost like a white, just slightly off white. I'm actually going to use these pink ones here because they really pick up the pink in the paper. And so we're going to add, let's have a look. We'll put one here, just offset it, and then we'll add another large one. We'll add another one here, and then we'll add a small one there. Okay, I like that. So Sunset Sparkle, yeah, 1, 6, 7, 7, 8, 5 are those. So they're really, really pretty. I don't undo my bags at the top and re-slide them in and out. I cut them along the side and then I slide them in and out. For me, that just seems to work easier. You do you. But there you go. How pretty is that little card? I think it's absolutely adorable. You could use it as a birthday card, have a fabulous day. It could be an anniversary. It could be a celebrate your vacation day. It could be a graduation or a party. It could be any, baby shower even. Change the colours, change the paper, and you can make it into whatever you want. Have a fabulous day. Could be for anything at all. I really, really like it, and I hope you like it too. Now, I did say that I would show you some different colour combinations. So how about this one in that peachy coloured paper that goes to the, what does it go to? It goes to the red colours. And then I did a blue one as well. And then these are the remaining white gems that I used from the sequin. So they have almost like a blue. They're white with almost like that iridescent. So exactly the same card, exactly the same piece sizes. The only thing I've changed is the colour of the cardstock and the ribbon. And you have 3 pretty, pretty cards that are all identical but all different. So I hope that inspires you to play with this paper, because I think it's absolutely beautiful paper. And I will see you next week, hopefully on Tuesday, and I'll come up with something fun to show you. As always, if there's something that you want to see that or you want me to show you, send me a message, send me a direct message, and say, hey Sarah, can you teach us how to do this or that or the other? And if I have it, I will absolutely show you. Loving this embossing folder. I'm going to go and play with it some more. Have fun wherever in the world you're watching from, and I'll see you next week. Bye.